You walk in and it's hard for me to say, but you can actually smell fear. You smell death. Walking into the hospital, very different feel at this period of time.
That different feeling, she says, is one of helplessness. There's little she and her colleagues can do for the patients on their unit. Half are well below the age of 60, people who just days ago had no health issues.
The real picture is that the disease is way more severe than anybody could actually imagine. I cry. I have my headgear on, I have my goggles on, I have the mask.
Like many on the front lines, Dr. Graver says PPE is running short. She rewears masks and goggles that normally would be thrown away. There's no other choice.
There's a fine line where you want to be able to put your life on the line and protect, but at the same time knowing that what you could be doing inside, you're bringing home with you and can infect your loved ones.
Now, Dr. Graver wasn't able to take video on her unit, but she tells me if we could see what she's been seeing every day, no one would ever leave their home. We're live in Manhasset. Greg Sergel, News 4 New York.
All the patients in this room, all the feet that you see, they all have COVID. The frustrating thing about all of this is it really just feels like it's too little too late. Like we knew it was coming.
Today is kind of getting worse and worse. We had to get a refrigerated truck to store the bodies of patients who are dying. We are right now scrambling to try to get a few additional ventilators or even CPAP machines. If we could get CPAP machines, we could free up ventilators for patients who need them.
Five ventilators. Oh my God. You know, we now have these 5 vents. We probably, unless people die, I suspect we'll be back to needing to beg for ventilators again in another day or 2. There's a mythical 100 vents out there, which we haven't seen. Leaders in various offices, from the president to the head of health and hospitals, saying things like, we're going to be fine, everything's fine. And from our perspective, everything is not fine. I don't have the support that I need and even just the materials that I need physically to take care of my patients. And it's America, and we're supposed to be a first world country. On a regular day, my emergency department's volume is pretty high. It's about 200 people a day. Now we're seeing 400 or more people a day. At first, we were trying to isolate patients with cough and fever and be more careful around them, but we weren't necessarily being extra careful around all the other patients. And then we started to realize that patients who were coming in with no fever but abdominal pain actually had findings on their x-rays and chest CTs that were consistent with this coronavirus, COVID-19. So someone in a car accident gets brought in, and we get a CT scan of them, and their lungs look like they have coronavirus. We were seeing a lot of patients who probably had COVID, but we didn't realize. 10 residents and also many of our nurses and a few of the attending physicians got sick. The anxiety of this situation is really overwhelming. You know, all of the doctors, it's hard for us to get tested even if we want to, even if we have symptoms. We're exposed over and over again. We don't have the protective equipment that we should have. I put on one N95 mask in the morning. I need to have that N95 mask on for every patient I see. I don't take it off all day. The N95 mask I wore today is also the N95 mask I wore on Friday. We're always worried that we'll be out of N95 masks. What's a little bit scary now is the patients that we're getting are much sicker. Many of the young people who are getting sick don't smoke. They're healthy. They have no comorbidities. They're just young, regular people between the ages of 30 and 50 who you would not expect to get this sick. So many people are saying it's going to be okay, everything's fine, we have what we need. And if this goes on for a month or 2 or 3 or 5 like it did in China, and we're already this strained, we don't have what we need. I don't really care if I get in trouble for speaking to the media. I want people to know that this is bad. People are dying. We don't have the tools that we need in the emergency department and in the hospital to take care of them. And it's really hard.
Now confirming she's tested positive herself for COVID-19. And tonight, word of the youngest known victim, a 6-week-old baby, passing away from complications of the virus in nearby Connecticut. Hospitals so overwhelmed, iconic public spaces now used to treat patients. Tonight, a doctor taking us inside New York's Mount Sinai Queens Hospital, now pushed to the brink.
This is our ED. You can see all the rooms are filled. Usually these halls are very neat and empty. And now you can see there's patients everywhere because of this. Makes it very hard to work, and we're trying our best to treat everyone that we can.
Many of the patients immediately put on oxygen.
All these patients here sitting out in the hallways because we are full.
Healthcare workers on the front lines making painful sacrifices.
I said goodbye to my wife and my daughter for who knows how long. It's going to be several weeks probably before I see him in person again.
The White House Coronavirus Task Force with that grim projection that even if Americans follow the restrictions, 100 to 240,000 people could die in the U.S. The governor shutting down playgrounds, calling on the NYPD to enforce the rules.
How reckless and irresponsible and selfish for people not to do it on their own. I mean, what else do you have to know? What else do you have to hear?
It's hard to believe this, but y'all, this is for real. This is for real. This is live from Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn Hospital. They're putting bodies in the back of a freezer truck, y'all. Please stay inside. This is for real. This is for real, y'all. Lord, have mercy. Help us, Lord. This is for real. Please, please, y'all stay inside. This is real, y'all. This is coming right now. I'm right here now, right here outside the hospital. This is going on right now. This is live, y'all. This time is 10:40 Sunday morning. This is down. This is down. This is for real. They're putting bodies in the back of an 18-wheeler, in the back of a freezer truck, y'all. This is for real.